Hello, my name is MX Ultra. You may know me from such films as MX Ultra, the Game Dev Wizard, or the streaming series Doobie Chow Adventures. But today, I'd like to take a trip down memory lane and reveal the truth of what happened with Invader Simulator.
We interrupt this record to bring you a special bulletin.
Zach and I have been modding games since we were kids. We had worked on several Unreal projects together, so when Epic released Unreal Engine 4, we jumped at the chance to make our own game. The original idea was for a player versus player wizard battle, but we quickly shifted to a cooperative robot shooter, though it would retain the bombastic magic attacks. We took it to GDC and showed it to publishers, but they weren't interested in our prototype. They want what's called a vertical slice, and told us we needed to improve the graphics. But that's kind of what we needed funding for. Obviously, we didn't hit that release date. I did what I could to polish the visuals, but the game was still a collage of free assets. At this stage, it was to have scripted missions. You play as a robot that explores an alien world, and the story follows a series of mysteries that take you deeper into the planet. When we showed it to publishers again, they now said it was too ambitious. So, to reduce scope, we switched to the hot new trend of the day: roguelites. The enemies and abilities were redistributed into spawn tables, and where the extractor defense mode had started as a way to farm resources, it now became the main objective. Despite our efforts, the publishers were not convinced. They still wanted to see the finished graphics. I wasn't exactly wealthy going into this, and it had already taken 2 years longer than projected. Just to reiterate, the game so far was made by 2 people. In 2019, I took out loans so I could hire freelance artists for models, animations, and music. We were running on vapors at this point, but we needed to impress, because this would probably be our last shot. You might have guessed where this was going, but after I went all in for this indie game, the world was hit with a certain global catastrophe. GDC was cancelled, and we had now struck out a 4th time. Zach has a family to support and needed to get a full-time job, which limited his ability to code new features or fix issues. I had my own troubles and had just added a spiraling debt, so it was hard to pretend this wasn't game over. In 2022, Epic released Unreal Engine 5, which has all kinds of improvements over its predecessor. For example, this is our current destruction system. As you can see, the chunks are extra chunky. And the architecture is very basic. But this is what we could have if we upgrade. It probably won't look this realistic in the end, but it will allow more granular debris and complex interiors. We could have denser foliage across larger landscapes, with crisp lighting, dynamic weather, and more detailed cities. Plus many other enhancements that we're eager to experiment with. As a horde shooter, performance is paramount. The graphics will definitely improve, but we'll be able to do more across the board. Multiplayer was always part of the plan, but the degree to which we can implement it will depend on our level of funding. Which brings us to the present. We polished the UE4 version enough to pass for early access, and got it listed on the Epic Game Store. We want to put it on Steam and consoles as soon as possible, but for nonsensical technical reasons, we have to complete the upgrade first. This is where you come in. Moving to UE5 and completing the asset overhaul will require funds that I do not have. We didn't have the reach to do crowdfunding earlier, but this really is our last chance, so we have to give it a shot. You've seen our dedication over the years. You've seen what we can accomplish without adequate funding. So if you are able, please give us your support, and let's see what the ragdoll physicists can really do. Invader Simulator Early Access is now available on EGS. We also have a Patreon, links below.
So anyway, thanks for watching. You can check out our original trailer here, and then watch the other ones after that.